Hi, everyone. Welcome to the 2022 Region 4 Awards ceremony. We're super excited to have you all with us. My name is Brian Murnoff. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Region 4 Science Fair.
And I'm Susan Schmidt. I'm the other co-director of the Region 4 Science and Engineering Fair. Welcome, and we're really pleased to have all of you with us tonight. And before we get to the awards, we're going to have a couple of speakers. Our first speaker today, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Tufts University President Anthony P. Monaco. President Monaco is an accomplished leader in higher education, a devoted scientist, and a world-renowned geneticist. His research in genetics led to a landmark discovery, the gene responsible for the X-linked Duchenne and Becker muscular dystrophies. Under his leadership, Tufts University built a state-of-the-art science and engineering complex on the Medford-Somerville campus. And a few years ago, the Region 4 Science Fair needed a new home. President Monaco jumped at the chance to not only host the event, but also to make Tufts University the lead sponsor of our fair. Thank you so much, Tony. President Monaco recently announced he will be stepping down as president in the summer of 2023. We will all miss his leadership and commitment to STEM education. And now, please welcome President Anthony Monaco.
Hello, my name is Tony Monaco, and I'm the president of Tufts University. I'm honored to join you for the Massachusetts Region 4 Science Fair. Tufts University is happy to be the lead sponsor and host of this year's event. There are a lot of people at Tufts that made this day possible. First and foremost, I want to thank Karen O'Hagan from the Department of Chemistry, who has spent dedicated countless hours over the last few months to prepare this science fair. I also want to thank Mark Maggiore from the Office of Government and Community Relations for all his work behind the scenes. In 2020, we were honored to host the Region 4 Science Fair on campus in Breed Hall. In fact, it was one of the last events that we hosted in person on campus. At that time, the word Zoom was perhaps best known as a setting on our phone cameras. Now, Zoom is a new way of life. These past 2 years have challenged all of us. Despite these obstacles, each of you has persevered to pursue your research. Your love of science has driven you to be here today. We are all in awe of your resilience during this time. I don't know all the challenges that you have faced, but I know that our students have endured many challenges. Zoom lectures, COVID testing, physical distance lab experiments, and restriction to social gatherings and group work. At Tufts University, we developed a surveillance testing program for our students, faculty, and staff. We wanted to share the lessons learned from our program with local schools. However, we soon discovered that individual surveillance testing was too expensive for public school districts. So a group of researchers at Tufts developed a pooled testing program. After we tested our methods with our students, faculty, and staff, we were able to share those techniques with public schools in Medford and Somerville. I'm proud to say that the pilot study led to a successful pooled testing program in both school districts that is a fraction of the cost of an individual testing program. And the Medford-Somerville program became the proof of concept for the state's pooled testing program. We published the protocol and results for others to use. And just yesterday, the Bulletin of the World Health Organization cited our pooled testing strategy in a review of COVID mitigation strategies. And that's what science is all about. You see a challenge across the globe or in your local backyard, you come up with an idea or protocol on how to solve that problem. You test out your theory. If it works, you publish it and you share it with others. And if it doesn't work, you seek solutions until it does work. At Tufts, our faculty and students are involved in some of the most cutting-edge research. I am pleased they are bringing this research into our local high schools. To the high school students watching this presentation, All of you have demonstrated an impressive understanding of complex scientific subjects, a desire to pursue the truth, and an insatiable thirst for knowledge. Your passion for science gives us hope. Children under 18 make up about a quarter of our population, but represent the entirety of humankind's future. Thanks to innovations like the internet, the iPhone, and Instagram, you have more information at your fingertips than any other generation in the history of the world. But with this great opportunity also comes great responsibility. If the past few years has taught us anything, it is that our world faces many challenges: climate change, infectious disease, food insecurity, just to name a few. The only constant is change. Now more than ever, the world needs young people like you, people who aren't afraid to ask the tough questions, people who are willing to put in hours of research, people who are willing to step up to use science, research, and technology to solve our greatest problems with equitable solutions. You are well on the way to becoming future scientists, researchers, and engineers. I urge you to continue to pursue your passion for science in high school, college, and beyond. You are embarking on a lifelong journey of learning that will test your skills, enrich your soul, and open your mind. Congratulations on getting here today. We can't wait to see what you'll do next. Thank you.
Thank you, President Monaco. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Asima Mohanty, who is the Claire Booth Luce Assistant Professor in the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering at Tufts University. She received her BS degree from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and her PhD and MS degrees from Cornell University. During her postdoctoral research at Columbia University, she worked with Professor Michael Lipson, studying the design, fabrication, and application of silicon-based nanophotonic devices for neuroscience and quantum information systems. Her research focuses on using nanophotonics and engineered light matter interactions to create miniaturized high-performance optical circuits to control shape and sense light. Her interest in chip-scale optical devices broadly span the field of neuroscience, implantable and wearable biomedical sensors, 3D optical beam shaping, quantum information, and emerging computing and communication systems. Please welcome Professor Mohanty.
Hi, everyone. First, I want to start off by saying congratulations to everyone for being part of the Science and Engineering Fair. It is not always easy, and experiments and projects usually don't go exactly as planned, but that is the fun part of exploring and learning something new. The scientific process is key to solving our biggest problems in society, whether it is related to climate change or a health crisis like the COVID pandemic. Science Fair has played a big role in getting me to where I am today. I'm currently a professor here at Tufts in electrical and computer engineering. My research lab works on developing nanophotonic circuits for neuroscience, biomedical imaging, and quantum information systems. These are basically tiny chip-scale devices that use light to communicate information, sense biological and physical signals, and control 3D optical patterns. To develop these chips, I work every day with a team of amazing graduate and undergraduate students who are designing nanoscale structures that are much, much smaller than the width of your hair. Eventually, these nanophotonic chips will be alongside your everyday electronics. I did science fairs since I was a very young kid in elementary school. I was always trying to figure out projects that I could do in the kitchen and at home to solve different problems. So this ranged from trying to figure out how to stop the growth of mold on bread using spices, understanding how different types of soils affect the growth of roots, all the way to growing protein crystals. I was lucky to have parents that were very supportive and allowing me to explore and be creative. My 7th grade science class taught by Mrs. Melinda Mills also made a huge impact, because in our science class, we would come every day to do mini science projects, which gave me a taste of how doing research is really like being an investigator. You start with a question or a problem, come up with a plan and you have to adapt your approach as you gather data. Every day is different, exciting, and unpredictable. One day we were given microscope slides to look at and a set of symptoms to diagnose patients. And another day we were figuring out whether a saltwater fish could survive in freshwater. It was really fun to work with others on this process of solving a really, really hard problem that were both real and tangible. I would say this and my love for art and the way the light interacts with materials led me to look for many research opportunities in both high school and college. I was always looking for something that had an engineering design aspect blended with optics and physics, theory and experiments. In high school, I had the opportunity to do a NASA internship where I worked on a setup that used laser-induced fluorescence to study materials for atmospheric reentry. I didn't quite have all the physics background yet to understand all the details, but I helped code and automate some of the testing apparatus so I could be involved. Then I went on to MIT to do my undergraduate degree in electrical engineering. Here, from freshman year, I started asking professors if I could do research with them over the summer and school year. I explored a few different labs ranging all the way from visual perception in brain and cognitive science research to understanding thermophotovoltaics and solar cells for sustainable energy. So by the way, these positions are often paid for which many people don't realize. So you can also seek these opportunities out at other universities, for example, through REU programs to learn from other schools and research groups. So this allowed me to really explore my interests in depth and get a real feel for what working on real world problems entail. This is something that is very difficult to understand purely from classes. So finally, this led me to do a PhD in nanophotonics. I would say I started off my PhD in this area because I was very excited by the physics and the beauty of light, how we could make structures that control it by careful design. However, I decided to continue to pursue my career as a professor because I learned along the way about this real need to miniaturize our optical systems today to make them more efficient, portable, and cheaper, so that they can be used for real world applications. So I love the idea of working with the next generation to inspire them to solve hard problems too. So if you told me at the beginning I would be building optical chips to study the brain and for quantum computers, I would not believe you one bit. It goes to show that there are so many different trajectories that can be taken in life and towards a STEM career. Seek out as many opportunities as you can. This helps you figure out what your interests are and build up your knowledge and skill set. Every research problem is different and there is something interesting and fun to learn from all of it. Do not let that nagging feeling that you may not have all the background stop you. Most people don't. Research is just an ongoing learning process. I'll leave it at that, and congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Professor Mohanty. For our last speaker before the awards, we have a senior from Malden Catholic High School, Charles Dillman. Charlie last year won a top proposal award at the Massachusetts Science and Engineering Fair, and he'll be speaking about his experience doing science fair projects.
My name is Charles Dillman, and I am currently a student at Malden Catholic in the 12th grade, and I am interested in studying environmental engineering when I arrive in college this fall. Some of the schools that I've been accepted to already have been Purdue University and the University of Illinois, and I am currently waiting on some more decisions. So I participated in the STEM fair twice. My first one was in 2020, and that was live in Tufts University, and that was at the regional level. And then my second fair was in 2021, that was virtual, and I was able to advance to the state level in that presentation. So in 2020, my project was entitled The Impact of Blade Design on Wind Turbine Performance. And that was investigating different shapes of blades and how they impacted the amount of energy that was produced. And then my project in 2021 was the impact of biofuel composition on performance and quality. And that investigated the oil that was put into the biofuel and how that affected its heat produced. So in 2021, my fair was completely virtual, and Some of the challenges that I faced was that it was on the other side of a Zoom camera. So that taught me to work independently because I had to perform all the research on my own, or at least the proposal part of it. And then I also worked to become more organized in everything that I had done. And I worked to make sure that my project was coherent and logical so that someone on the other side of a Zoom camera could understand what I was trying to say. In 2021, after being reviewed by the judges, my project was chosen to represent the region at the state level. And so I was very honored to receive this advancement in my project, and I was really excited for the state project as well, the state fair as well. When I arrive at college, I hope that I can use the proposal that I created in 2021 because I wasn't able to do any hands-on research. I hope I can apply this proposal to research at the undergraduate level to use some of the instrumentation that's available to me at the college level, but maybe not at the high school level, to gather some more precise measurements and to really provide a new understanding for the research community. I have two things to recommend for other students. My first one would be to be confident in your research and confident in your understanding of the topic so that the judges know what you're trying to say. And the second one would be to really enjoy looking at the different projects proposed by everyone else that's at the fair and have a better understanding of the different topics that they are researching and how that can impact the world. My takeaway is that there's always some new research that can be performed in the science field and more generally the STEM field. My research that focused in on biofuel was able to research the efficiency of the biofuel so that we can produce biofuels at a more efficient scale and a much larger scale as well. And there's always an ability to focus in on some area that fascinates you, but then also has implications for the world. This project was important to me because it was able to investigate the most efficient way to produce biofuels at a much larger scale than what's being done right now. And this means that we can transition more quickly away from the fossil fuels that we are focused in on right now so that we can prevent the worst effects of global warming.
Thank you, Charlie. Before we get started with the awards, we want to just give one big thank you to all the students, teachers, and parents who made these projects this year possible. And now let's head to the award ceremony.
The Outstanding Data Science Award, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Toshio Yuki from Lexington High School. The relationship between body habitus in professional Olympic athletes and various running events. The award for Outstanding Robotics or Artificial Intelligence Project, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Vikram Anatha and Sahana Behera from Lexington High School for creating a quantum-enhanced machine learning algorithm to detect Alzheimer's disease. The Outstanding Robotics or Artificial Intelligence Project, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Rohan Bandaru and Parth Kochetta from Lexington High School for deep learning for visual odometry. The Innovative Project Design Award, sponsored by the UMass Lowell Society of Physics Students, goes to Anish Srinivasan from Billericay Memorial High School for color psychology, street lamps, chiromydidae, and unanticipated yet effective malaria prevention system. The Outstanding Educational Research Project, sponsored by the New England section of the Optical Society of America, goes to Sanya Shah from Acton-Boxborough Regional High School. Correlation of TBIs and dementia/Alzheimer's in connection to education/employments. The Outstanding Accessibility Award, sponsored by the New England section of the Optical Society of America, goes to Zhuanhang Guo from Phillips Academy
for a speech-enhanced mask based on LMS algorithm.
The Outstanding Public Health Award, sponsored by the New England section of the Optical Society of America, goes to Jana Cho from the Governor's Academy for a comparison of the electronic cigarette-generated aerosol and conventional cigarette smoke effects on the cell proliferation of A549 lung cancer cell line.
The Outstanding Cross-Disciplinary Project, sponsored by the New England section of the Optical Society of America, goes to Xiaochen Zhang from Phillips Academy for Hear the Picture using machine learning and music theory to achieve cross-modal translation from image to music via the PAD emotional state model.
The Outstanding Cross-Disciplinary Project, sponsored by Novartis, goes to Chengzhang Liu of Malden Catholic High School for 3D printed mechanical apparatus for microplastic degradation and recycling.
The That's Geography, Cultivating Empathy for Earth Award, sponsored by National Geographic, goes to Anna Du from Phillips Academy for developing a novel DLC-based thermophoto beta voltaic device for remote extensible energy conversion storage.
The Outstanding Electrical Engineering Project, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Etinosa Ogiegor from Lowell High School for solar-powered car.
The Outstanding Earth and Space Project Award, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Emma Kwong from Methuen High School for DIY Star Tracker versus commercial Star Tracker.
The Outstanding Behavioral or Social Science Project, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Marwa Buzit and Salma Buzit from Pioneer Charter School of Science 2 for a comparison of reading modalities and their effects on student comprehension.
The Outstanding Environmental Science Project Award, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Elizabeth Angulo and Riley Avalar from Everett High School for Recipe for Disaster.
The Outstanding Computer Science Project, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Arielzy Lee from Phillips Academy for deep reinforcement learning on wind power optimization.
The Outstanding Mechanical Engineering Project Award, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Connor Sun from Westford Academy, optimization of a rocket motor nozzle for exhaust ionization.
The Outstanding Mathematics Project, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Yihao Huang and Claire Wang from Phillips Academy for Mind Big, mining dense subgraphs from bipartite graphs in parallel.
The Outstanding Biology Project Award, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Charlotte Chung from Arlington High School for identifying genetic associations between food allergy and diseases.
The Outstanding Biochemistry Project, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Anushri Pal from Acton Boxborough Regional High School for in silico discovery of SARS-CoV-2 major protease inhibitor using docking and molecular dynamics simulations.
The Outstanding Chemistry Project Award, sponsored by the Massachusetts Chemistry and Technology Alliance, goes to Nikita Milanji from Acton Boxborough Regional High School, identifying novel acetylcholinesterase inhibitors to treat Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative disorders via machine learning, QSAR modeling, and molecular docking.
The Outstanding Chemistry Project, sponsored by the Massachusetts Chemistry and Technology Alliance, goes to Kian Lau from Everett High School for How low can you go?
The Outstanding Microbiology Project Award, sponsored by the American Society of Microbiology, goes to Mayara Clemens and Yan Gao from the Pioneer Charter School of Science 2. How do different cooking methods affect bacteria depletion?
The Outstanding Microbiology Project, sponsored by the American Society of Microbiology, goes to Irene Zhang of Concord Academy for customized and optimized treatment of extended spectrum beta-lactamase bacteria for individual patients.
The Top Somerville High School project, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Bodie Brenner and Dashiell Brenner from Somerville High School for preparing for the next pandemic, predictors and effects of COVID-19 remote learning.
The Outstanding Somerville High School project, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Atticus Beauregard of Somerville High School for testing the efficacy of water-based air filters. For third place, sponsored by Tufts University, this goes to Christina Etani from the Pioneer Charter School of Science for oleophilic hydrophobic sponge for crude oil spills.
The third place award, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Ogachukwu Iwuchukwu from Billerica Memorial High School for the intergenerational impact of parental stress using Drosophila hydae.
Third place, sponsored by Tufts University, goes to Siddharth Krishna from Acton Boxborough Regional High School for applying machine learning to effectively address pandemics.
Third place, sponsored by Novartis, goes to Jeffrey He and Atul Venkatesh from Lexington High School for a psychological insight into selective vision.
Second place, sponsored by Novartis, goes to Anjali Asagiri and Jamie Yu from Lexington High School for commercial scale ocean thermal energy conversion using the Seebeck effect, a computational optimization.
Second place, sponsored by Novartis, goes to Jae Song from Dwight Global Online School for GIS multi-layer topological analysis with AI image detection, a novel approach to lung cancer diagnosis.
Second place, sponsored by Novartis, goes to Nagamitesh Nagamurali from Lexington High School for low-cost educational braille display with cognitive learning features.
First place, sponsored by Sanofi Specialty Care, goes to Kylie Conlin from Lowell High School for printing our future.
First place, sponsored by Sanofi Specialty Care, goes to Erin Kim of Phillips Academy for a novel approach to burn wound assessment, analysis of cell packing behavior in wound healing and regeneration.
First place, sponsored by Sanofi Specialty Care, goes to Junu Lee from Lexington High School, Autism from Mars, decoding the genetic underpinning of sex bias in autism through big data analysis.
Finally, the grand prize, sponsored by Sanofi Specialty Care, goes to Eric Gay of the Groton School for a robotic hand orthosis and novel automatic Brunstrom evaluation for stroke patients. Congratulations, everybody. The top 3 projects in the Region 4 Science and Engineering Fair will be nominated to compete in the International Science and Engineering Fair this year. Those students are Eric Gay, Junu Lee, and Erin Kim. Congratulations. You'll be hearing from us about this very soon.
The top 40 projects of the Region 4 Fair will also be advancing to the State Science and Engineering Fair. Congratulations to all the winners.